In Detroit, the second and final debate for governor less than 2 weeks away from Election Day.
One more time, Gretchen Whitmer and Bill Schuette going head-to-head on the issues, everything from fixing our roads to protecting our water.
Here's what we need to do. Number one, specifically, we need to make sure we have a full and complete audit of MDOT and how they allocate road funding across the state. Secondly, we need to have guarantees and warranties for our roads and bridges, just like any other product you might buy. And we need to have more federal funding coming from Washington.
I will write a budget in the first part of next year that actually dedicates $2 billion. It draws down $1 billion from the federal government, and it means we get to work right away. If the legislature is not strong enough to take those votes, I'll go straight to the public and pass a bond. We need real solutions. Our roads are endangering us.
Because I know families in Flint right now that only drink water from a plastic bottle and only wash vegetables from water with a plastic bottle. And I made sure there's an independent investigation. In Flint, the water crisis is about accountability, and it's about justice for families of Flint.
The state that is home to 21% of the world's fresh water has dozens of communities that have high lead in their water right now coming out of their tap, and dozens more that have PFAS that is leaching into our drinking water. The fact of the matter is we need to create a Department of the Great Lakes and Fresh Water that is tasked with overseeing the stewardship of this resource that is all of ours.
Our political reporter Rick Albin spoke with candidates once that debate wrapped up. He's in Detroit to break it all down for us.
The second and final debate for the governor's candidates, Republicans and Democrats, is now concluded, and we heard a lot of the same themes that we've heard throughout this campaign. We heard some of them over and over again. But after the debate, both of the candidates gave us their take of where this debate left their campaigns. Senator Whitmer responded to a question about Attorney General Schuette, referring to her as Jennifer, as in Granholm, instead of Gretchen.
Oh, did you catch that? He did it in Rick's debate, too. I don't know if you caught it, but he did it last week, too.
I didn't catch that one. What do you think?
Well, I think that Bill Schuette needs to learn my name because I'm the one that's running for governor. I think Bill Schuette needs to talk about my plans because I'm the one that has real plans to fix problems in Michigan. No more of this phony political speak. Let's get to work and make this a state where we can get ahead, where our kids stay and families thrive again. I think that's what's at issue here. He's going to get caught up and he doesn't know who's who. Maybe he's just confused or been around too long. But I got real plans to solve the problems that we face as a state. And my name's Gretchen Whitmer.
For his part, the Attorney General remains optimistic. Now, as you make this push in this race, you've talked about it being close. What do you have to do to close the deal?
Listen, this race is tightened, and we're going to win this race. It's going to be about 51-49, and, I've said this before, I'm going to give a lot of people cardiac arrest, and that's okay because we're going to win in the end. And why? Because it really comes down to two fundamental questions. Do you want to go forward or do you want to go backwards? We're not going backwards with the extreme economic collapse policies of Senator Whitmer, and the question is, are you better off today than you were 8 years ago? We are better off today than we were 8 years ago. And I want to build on the success of the last 8 years. And I want to cut taxes, eliminate the Granholm-Whitmer income tax increase.
So the second debate is in the books. It may impact some opinions, but for the most part, debates generally serve to back up what people already thought about those candidates. Tomorrow morning, we'll take a look at the state of the race as our new exclusive Epic MRA poll numbers will be out. I'll be back in the studio in Grand Rapids, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning to release those numbers. We'll look at the race for governor, the race for Attorney General, Secretary of State, and that U.S. Senate race as well. And of course, we'll continue to follow this and all of the races all the way through November 6th as your local election headquarters. In Detroit, I'm Rick Albin, 24 Hour News 8.